What's up? I'm Brian Tong, and welcome to the Apple Bite for all the good and bad inside the world of Apple. I know it seems like our show has been dominated by Apple's mobile devices and not the Mac platform, but believe it or not, we have some MacBook news. According to Electronista, Apple has been testing Intel's latest Sandy Bridge processors for months, and they will potentially use Intel's integrated graphics for their low-end MacBooks and MacBook Airs, signaling a shift away from NVIDIA graphics in some of their products. Intel will officially unveil them at CES 2010, but you can bet Apple wants a quick turnaround to add the new processors in their next product refresh. Now, speeds start at 2.5 to 2.7 gigahertz for Core i5 and i7 processors, and early benchmarks have shown performance that will be just as fast or faster than current dedicated graphics solutions from NVIDIA, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Now, research firm DisplaySearch recently reported that Apple is now third in the world for mobile PC sales and first in North America, which includes notebooks, netbooks, and tablets, thanks to the iPad effect. Apple grabbed a 12.4% share globally, but without the iPad, it would have only placed 8th. Now, we also told you in our buyer's guide that the next-gen iPad will be coming around the end of March to April. DigiTimes reports that Foxconn Electronics will begin shipping the next-gen iPads within the next 100 days and as soon as the end of February. It'll still take time for product to reach stores and partners, but that timetable looks like it's dead on, or you could have just guessed for yourself it was about a year from the iPad launch, and I will no longer have any use to you. iLounge has also revealed an image of a protective case design for the next iPad from Shenzhen Mac Top Electronics. Now, you'll see an opening for a rear-facing camera and the volume controls, plus a slot for the dock connector, but there's an opening on the bottom left corner that could potentially be for an SD card slot as well. These two different images both show spaces for a rear-facing camera and an SD card slot that are unconfirmed features at the moment. Now, in other news, the Wall Street Journal's Market Watch has named Steve Jobs the CEO of the decade, and you can't dispute his role in revolutionizing digital media with iTunes and the iPod, plus a couple of game changers you might have heard about called the iPhone and the iPad. But even better, Market Watch gave him credit for creating what they call a virtual orgy of technological wonderment. Awkward. All right, let's take a break from the news for this week's how-to with Donald Bell for finding and fixing your missing album art.
Hey, I'm Donald Bell, and today I'm going to show you the easiest, fastest way to fill in missing album art in your iTunes library. We all have songs in our collection that, when they appear on your iPod or your iPhone, give you that lame, generic album cover. The problem is, you can never remember what songs those were when you sit back at your computer and you want to go fix them. So here's the trick. Go to the File menu in iTunes and select New Smart Playlist. For the first condition, make sure that the media kind is set to music. Next, create a rule where the Has Artwork condition is set to false. Hit OK, and now you've got a listing of all the songs in your library that are missing album art. Now, to fix up these songs and give them album art, first see if iTunes can do it automatically. Select all the tracks in the list, head up to the Advanced menu, and select Get Artwork. iTunes will scan your library and fill in all the artwork that it can, and automatically remove those songs from this list. For the songs that are left over, you can right-click on any track, select Get Info, and drag a Google image search result for the artwork into the Artwork tab. But doing this for each individual song is kind of tedious. Instead, sort by album and select all of the album's tracks at once, and then right-click to Get Info. Drag the artwork out of your browser, hit OK, and you can update all of the songs at once. Now, one last trick. If all the songs that are left over on your list are just a random assortment of freebie downloads, DJ mixes, and other odds and ends, you can just kill them all with one fun image and be done with it. Do a select all on all the remaining songs in your playlist, right-click to Get Info, and drag any image you like into the artwork square. It might not be the perfect match for that song, but at least you'll be rid of the generic iTunes artwork. For CNET.com, I'm Donald Bell.
All right, on to the quick bites, guys. Apple is losing its gaming guru, Graham Devine. He joined Apple's iPhone Game Technologies division and was instrumental in making gaming a top-notch experience and bringing the top games to Apple's mobile devices. Historically, if you don't know, Apple has lagged in gaming, but it's now a serious player, eating away at the DS Lite and PSP for portable gaming market share. Also, Consumer Reports released its latest report on cellular service providers in the United States. AT&T ranked dead last with the magazine's lowest, worst rating in 8 of the 9 areas, and only one step above the lowest for the company's texting service. All those black dots you see? Yeah, they're a bad thing, and the Verizon iPhone can't come soon enough. Now, Apple's finally rolling out 90-second song previews in iTunes. It applies to songs over 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but there are some in the same album that will have different preview times, but you want to check that out. And MobileMe users are probably wondering if it's really worth $99 a year now that Find My iPhone is free, since really you're paying for email, 10 gigs of storage, and the ability to sync data across Apple devices. Now, using the power of Steve Mail, SJ responded to a MacRumors reader's email with, "Yes, it will get a lot better in 2011. See? Even Steve knows it gets better. Now, the MacBook Air also received a firmware update to address an issue where in some cases the Air boots up or wakes up to a black screen or becomes unresponsive, so you guys will want to download that. And now, let's just take a break and look at this week's iPhone app of the week. It's Infinity Blade, the best looking game on an iOS device to date using Epic's Unreal Engine. This action RPG is $5.99. It looks gorgeous, runs on the iPhone 3GS, the iPhone 4, some 3rd gen iPod Touches, and 4th gen iPod Touchies, and the iPad. Now, I know what I'll be doing all week, playing with my Infinity Blade. Alright, that's going to do it for this week's show. Send us your emails to theapplebite@cnet.com. I'm Brian Tong. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for another bite of the apple.